Finally, I get a chance to do this one, folks. As I said before in a couple of videos ago, I have finally got my new shelf in, and as I said I would, once I got my new shelf in, I would do an anime collection video. I've now moved everything over here, and so now I'm finally going to get to do it for you folks. Now, I have to get a couple of things out of the way first before I start diving into this collection video. First off, this, I am aware of, is a small collection compared to other people on YouTube. Let me make this clear. I've only been diving into anime and dabbling into the genre and the style for at least about 2 years now. I am still a greenhorn compared to most people who are very knowledgeable in the subject matter. I'm only a guy who likes to give my perspective and tries to see it from the outside, or tries to dive and see a little bit more on the curious angle. So, if my collection is not as big as some other people, that is why. It's because I'm still getting used to it, I'm still diving into it, and trying to see where my tastes are, and see what do I like and not like, and where do I overall think about the subject matter. And, another thing I need to mention, oh crap, what was it? My brain just stopped. Also, oh, that's right, if you have something you can recommend that I would add to my shelf, please comment below, tell me what you want me to add to this or want me to see. I'd be more than happy to take a look at that. But for now that I've got those out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into my anime collection, starting with 009 Re-Cyborg. One of the more acclaimed mangas of Shiro Masamune's work is Appleseed. Now, I don't have the sequel yet, but I have watched this before. I have watched it in bits and pieces. I don't know if I could say whether or not I fully liked it or dislike it. It's been a while since I've seen this, so I'll need to rewatch it in order to really formulate an opinion. But like I said, I don't have the sequel. Appleseed 13. My first Blu-ray purchase from Aniplex, and one that made me realize how high their quality actually is Bakemonogatari. One of my favorite action animes I've come across in recent months is Black Lagoon, and I also have picked up its sequel, Roberto's Blood Trail. Well, from what I've been hearing of the premise, I don't know if I should call this an epilogue or OVA or a complete, like a separate story within itself. I don't know. But still, I enjoy Black Lagoon. I'm just going to speak for Black Lagoon since I haven't seen Roberto's Blood Trail yet, is that I really do enjoy Black Lagoon. I reviewed it a while back. I had a lot of fun with the show. I did have some minor problems with it. If you want to, you can check my review to see for yourself. But still, I had a lot of fun with Black Lagoon, and I hope that the Roberto's Blood Trail is either as good or better. Oh yeah, there was one more thing I needed to mention, folks. If you see an anime here that you know very well is bad or terrible, and I also think is bad, keep in mind that I am not keeping it on this shelf because I think it's good. Believe me, I'm keeping it only around so that way one day I can actually rip into it, such as this one, Battle Girl's Time Paradox. And I just have one thing to say for this one. You're gonna get what's coming to you later. Sorry folks, I had to do that. It's Children Who Chase Lost Voices from Deep Below. Next up is Casher and Sins, probably one of the most interesting animes I've seen in recent months, but also one of the most somber I've seen yet. Dusk Maiden of Amnesia. Next up in my collection is Evangelion's 1.11 and 2.22. Now, you guys know that Season 2 for me started with Evangelion 1.11, and I recently picked up its sequel, Evangelion 2.22. And with the first movie, I really enjoyed that one. I did have a couple of problems with it. However, I will say this. With 2.22, those problems have been amended, and I will say this, with Evangelion, I did not know if I was going to enjoy it as much as I did, but with the second movie, I'm actually enjoying it more the more I see of Evangelion. Now, I don't know if I'm going to pick up the mangas themselves. If you guys recommend it, please tell me. Or if you recommend the series, or some other version of Evangelion, please let me know. I would love to take a look at it. So, I'm actually really curious about this franchise. I can't wait for the third movie from Funimation to be released. So let me know in the comments below what you think of Evangelion itself. I understand it's a very divisive or very split opinion, and that's fine. But this is one I'm personally finding enjoyment with, but that's just me. One of my all-time favorites, Fooly Cooly. I mean, do I really need to say anything more about Fooly Cooly that I haven't already said before? I don't think so. Freezing. Ever since I saw Wolf Children, I wanted to check more of Mori Hosoda's films, so I picked up The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. I heard this is really, really good. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I'm sorry. I will get to it. I'm just saying, like, this is one thing I've heard is regarded as one of the best works that Mamoru has done yet. Gunbuster vs. Diebuster. One of my more recent pickups and imports is the Macross Plus Blu-ray Complete box set. Now, this is an anime I more or less stumbled upon, mostly because of the new Ghost in the Shell Rise, is Marduk Scramble 1 and 2. I am really surprised at how much I enjoyed both of these movies. You know that I reviewed Marduk Scramble: The First Impression a while back, and I really, really enjoyed it. I loved all the symbolism, I loved the themes, I love the colors, the music, everything about this movie. And not only that, the sequel is possibly as good, but in a different way. Now, if I had to give a quick little summary review, is that I kind of equivalent this movie to Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. It's not as action-filled as the first movie, I'll admit that, but it does have its moments where it is really, really good. It has its own kind of theme, and it makes it seem like the tension is building up for the third exhaust, which is coming out in September, and I'm going to import that one. I'm thinking of also importing the Japanese versions of Monarch Scrambles 1 and 2 because those come with art books, and I really want to see some of the concept designs they have for that show. Another anime I reviewed recently is Mysterious Girlfriend X, regarded as one of the most classic anime films ever made, and it has a 100% Rotten Tomatoes, much to my surprise. Ninja Scroll. The sequel to Bakemonogatari, Nisei Monogatari, and one of my top 10 favorite films of all time is Paprika. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest, people. What do I like more, Paprika or Inception? I put both in the same spot. Now, some of you might know, I know that Paprika is that it was the inspiration of Inception. There's a lot of stuff that Inception does, but I put those two as companion pieces to each other. To me, I put both at number 5 on my list with the top 5 movies of all time. I can't help but love both equally. I mean, the way I do it is that Paprika I sort of find as the complete polar opposite of Inception, where Inception has rules, it has a logic system, it has a structure and how everything works. Paprika is like, let's take everything about dreams that has rules in Inception and completely throw that out the window. This is like as if dreams were in chaos, and so I see that it takes the concept of dream sharing, both Inception and Paprika, and takes it in so many completely different directions from each other that I can't help but see them as the yin and yang to each other. I love both films equally. I love Paprika. The soundtrack is incredible, and so is the animation. And for a film that's actually, I think it's rated R, it's really, really good. And it's never super exploitive. And again, I don't ever complain about this stuff, but I'm surprised for a rated R film how little exploitive. I think this honestly could have been PG-13, really. But still, I love Paprika. In fact, a little fun story is that one of my Dante Alighieri teacher, my teacher at my college, she recommended this film to me, and it was amazing. I absolutely adored it, and I can't wait. I would love to watch this again. The very first anime I ever reviewed is Penny and Stocking with Garter Bell. Oh man, I adored this show. I had so much fun watching it. It was just the animation itself, the soundtrack, it's just the comedy itself, it's just so much fun. Yes, it's crude, yes, it's foul, yes, people call it juvenile, but sometimes I need to feel like those people need to be knocked from an ivory tower. But I love Penny and Stocking. I don't care what anyone says about it. I enjoy the heck out of it, and I would gladly watch it again. Pat Labor OVA collection. Hoela Meiji Madoka Magica Parts 1 and 2. Rin, Daughters of Nimazine. Another highly regarded Momura Hosoda film is Summer Wars. Regarded by Benny as a classic cyberpunk anime is Serial Experiments Lane. A fun little bit, I actually went a chance to saw a screening for this one, and I am so glad I saw this on the big screen. Serial Experiments Lane is wonderful. It's really, really creepy though, and really dismal, but it's so interesting. Just seeing how the technology was encroaching on the world and how bleak everything felt. It's just, I love Serial Experiments Lane. It's so interesting to listen to and watch. Time of Eve Director's Cut. One of my favorite animes growing up, Yu Yu Hakusho on Blu-ray. Probably my favorite arc of the entire show is the Dark Tournament Saga. That's the only Ghibli film I've seen so far in theaters, The Secret World of Arrietty. Now, personally, I want to get the UK version of this Blu-ray because I've heard that the UK dub for this one is actually better than the American dub for this one, but I will check that out, as well as I want to see if I can import the rest of the Ghibli movies Blu-rays from like Japan. The Pony Canyon Blu-rays, I want to see if I can import all of those to here because those look great. I love the minimalistic covers. But Arrietty, I found it to be a very nice, pleasant, relaxing surprise. I really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite films when it came out the year it did. I'm so happy I saw it. It's just a good movie. Castle in the Sky. Next up is Bravo the Fireflies. One of my favorite Ghibli films personally is Howl's Moving Castle. Now this is the Pony Canyon version of the Blu-ray. This is the import version. I absolutely love Howl's Moving Castle. If I would love to get myself an original theatrical poster of Howl's Moving Castle along with Spirited Away, my other favorite Miyazaki film. Just a beautiful piece. I mean, when I first listened to this in English, I could not tell that the main voice actor for Hal was Christian Bale. that blew my mind. When I saw that in the credits, I was like, no way! Batman voiced Hal, and that was the coolest thing ever. I just love this movie. It is a beautiful, beautiful piece of work, and it kind of shows a really good message. It might have a little too much going on for some people, but I still love it. It is a great, great movie. Another personal favorite Miyazaki film of mine is Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind. Now, probably one of Miyazaki's more controversial, or at least divided opinion releases is Ponyo. Now I know a certain friend of mine is going to like this one because it's her favorite Studio Ghibli film is Whisper of the Heart. Possibly my favorite anime franchise of all time is Ghost in the Shell. I love Ghost in the Shell. I love it so much, and it all started with this film, Ghost in the Shell 1. Now, I will admit, I really do love its sequel. I think it's a good sequel. I think it's the best kind of sequel you could have done with this kind of material and what they were given. I will admit, though, the transfer on the Blu-ray for Ghost in the Shell, the original film, I'm not talking about the 2.0 stuff, I'm talking about the original. I wish they would do a better transfer of this. And you know I did a recent unboxing for this one, is Ghost in the Shell Rise 1. Loved it so much. It's just, really, do I need to say anything more for this one? I didn't think so. And of course, what fan of Ghost in the Shell would I be if I didn't own Standalone Complex? Now, this is the only box set I own so far. I don't know if I should complete this box set or complete this particular set of 4 boxes consisting of the other half of this first season, as well as second gig. Now that the special editions are coming out, ones that are a little bit bigger, that consist of only 2 box sets, but have both seasons all in one box. I don't know if I should go with those ones. It's just a little bit more expensive, or roughly around the same price if I bought them all together. It's just, I love Ghost in the Shell so much, I want to own as much as I can of it. In fact, let me show you guys a quick poster of this one, just to give you guys a sense of how much fandom I have for Ghost in the Shell. This is an actual theatrical release poster of Ghost in the Shell. Now, to be fair, I don't even know what version this one is. It's just, this is so rare. I have looked everywhere for what particular version and region this one was in. This, I mean, if you guys can make out the particular logo here, can you tell me how rare this particular version is? Because I really do love Ghost in the Shell. I love the poster work. I love the story. It's just everything about Ghost in the Shell. I just love it. I know I might sound like a off the rails nutty fanboy, but you know what? That's this franchise I love. I am not apologizing for it, and I just love the series overall and love the franchise. Probably a contender for my favorite cyberpunk anime along with Ghost in the Shell is Armitage 3. Blackmagic M66, Dead Man Wonderland. Probably the most underrated anime I know about is Ghost Hunt. Next up is Gurren Lagann, the movie The Lights in the Skies Are Stars. Now I will admit, I would have Gurren Lagann, the DVD box set right here. However, I want that Blu-ray box set so much. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for Blu-rays. I want the best picture quality I could possibly find, the best version of it I could find. I just wish that I could get a hold of that Blu-ray box set. It's just so good. I love Gurren Lagann. It's one of my all-time favorite animes. Just really, really good. Samurai Deeper Kyo. Next up is Rossifon. Another one of my favorite animes of all time, Rurouni Kenshin. I adore this series so much. Season 1 and 2, fantastic. Love them to death. Season 3, moving on. It's just, I love Kenshin so much. It was the first anime that ever made me cry. I just loved it. It's just, even as a kid, when I was watching this for the first time, I was enthralled by the story. I love the characters. I saw the live action movie, absolutely adored it. And it's just, I really do want to read the manga itself. It's one of the few that I actually want to know every single volume of the manga too. I just would love to have it. But it's just, Kenshin itself is probably the best samurai anime I have seen to date. Probably the only anime I'll admit to being a guilty pleasure is Vandred. The first Miyazaki film I ever saw, Kiki's Delivery Service. These are the only 2 Studio Ghibli films that have never ever been released in the United States, and that is Only Yesterday and Ocean Waves. Princess Mononoke, finally working on a Blu-ray for this for Studio Ghibli. Thank God. Now, of course, I could not call myself a Ghibli fan if I did not have this in my collection. Spirited Away, my favorite Miyazaki film. I just love every single thing about this movie. It's probably in my top 10 movies ever, it's probably number 3. Number 3, yeah, probably. I just adore this movie. It's so beautiful. It has a good lesson. Chihiro has great character development. It's just everything about this movie just works, and it's so good. And Oh, I'm so glad that this won Best Animated Feature of the year it came out. Just, it's so good. If you haven't watched Spirited Away, watch it. It is so good. I actually showed one of my mom's friends this movie, and she really enjoyed it as well. And my sister has seen this movie, and she's not even into this sort of stuff, and she also enjoyed this. So that just shows the appeal of something of a movie like this to people who are not into this sort of subject matter. It's just a damn good movie. So there you go, folks. That is my anime collection. I hope that it was at least somewhat good. I understand that there's some not so good stuff in here. I perfectly admit that. I'm only saving those for a review one day, just so that way I have something to kind of just when I need something to rip to shreds, or need something to just acknowledge how bad it is. But still, I love looking at this stuff. If you have anything that you want to recommend that I add to this collection, or you think that I should see, please comment below. I'd love to hear it. Just tell me about it. So until next time, everybody, I'm Perry the One-Armed Legend. You name it, I can play it.